Hey folks, how are you? I hope everybody is having a great week. I apologize for the delay in getting this to you. It's been one of those weeks. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a very busy week, but I'm still excited about being with you on this coming Monday night. Be a couple of things we need to talk about in addition to some of the thoughts I'm going to give you here in just a moment. One of which is a week from this coming Monday is Memorial Day. Amy and I will be in town. We're certainly willing to continue doing the class. But if a number of you are going to be out of town, we'd like to know that so that we can just sort of push everything ahead a week. But if everyone's going to be in town and you want to do this thing, we'd be excited to do it. So just come prepared to kind of give some input. Maybe we could even do some cooking out together or something on that night. Your reading assignment this week is chapter 4 of Radical, and together with that, the last 5 verses of Matthew 28, the passage that we call the Great Commission. This is the command that Jesus gave us to make disciples of all nations, and that actually is the command. Sometimes when reading an English translation, you'll see that the first, at least seemingly, the first verb is the word go, but the word there actually is not an imperative. It's not even a verb. It's a participle, and literally translated, it sort of reads like this: as you are going, make disciples of all nations. And so the command really is to simply make disciples. It is to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with those in your sphere of influence, and to do that as you're going. And so the assumption that is sort of embedded in that command is that you have a context in which God has placed you. The book of Acts tells us that God has been determined even before we were born, the times and the places in which we would be born, in which we would exist. God's put you in a certain sphere of influence. He's put certain people around you. And so you want to begin asking yourself, as you think about the Great Commission this week, who are those people? And so I want to just ask you a couple of questions in preparation for Monday. And the first one is very simple. Think about the last time that you had the opportunity to share your faith and to share the gospel of Jesus with an unbelieving friend. Think about that time. How long ago was it? And have there been opportunities since then that you have had the chance to do that and maybe just haven't done it for whatever reason? And I just begin praying this week that the Lord would give you greater strength, greater discernment. I know I certainly need it in my life to be able to know appropriate times and places when God has put you together with unbelievers and it's time to share the gospel. The other thing I would ask you to do is this. Think of at least 2 significant relationships in your life that God has put in your network of friends and acquaintances, people that you know and love who are unbelievers. Think about individuals that you have significant relationships with that are outside a relationship to Christ, and begin praying for them, asking God to give you that next chance and to help you be aware and to have the discernment of knowing when is the right time to share the gospel with them. And then additionally and finally, I want you to think about 5 what I would call routine relationships. These are relationships you have with people just by virtue of your routine. Places you may go every day, people you might see every day. This might be your next door neighbors, could be your teachers if you're a student, it could be your students if you're a teacher or a professor. It could be your classmates, it might be your co-workers, it could be local fire and police department, your barber and stylist, your banker, any person that you know that you have a sort of a friendly, small talk kind of relationship with that has come just as a result of the routines of life. And begin praying for those 5 people as well. If you don't have anybody else to pray for, that'll give you 7 individuals that are outside a relationship to Christ, or at least quite possibly outside a relationship to Jesus, that you can begin to pray for, and you can begin to ask God, Lord, give me the discernment to know, to know when is the right time to share. Help me to redeem the time, to make the most of the opportunities that are given me, and help me to share the gospel faithfully and to make disciples, and in doing so to do my part in obeying the Great Commission. So be praying on that, thinking about those people, and I'll see you 6:30 on Monday night.